Let's go ahead and get these disclaimers out the way. First, did I make a spreadsheet along with a 150-page sealed document to make sure all the prior events leading to the 4th grade Ninja War line up with my version of it? Hell no. Second, I'm not going to be going into specific details about my changes, as I'm not trying to sit here for 3 goddamn days going episode by episode of how things would have gone different in my version. Third, do I think my version is better? Of course I do. I think everything I do is better. It's called irrational confidence. Lastly, this is not that deep. This is just a fun little what if. Now with that out the way, this is how the 4th grade Ninja War arc should have gone. To get it started, first, we're going to need to drastically change one of the most important characters for that arc, Obito. This lame ass, whack ass antagonist. So how do we change / fix him into being just a better character in general? The answer is actually quite simple. We just make it to where he doesn't exist. Nah, I'm just playing. Or am I? So clearly what they were going for with Obito is that he's supposed to be Naruto before Naruto. They just went about it in an absolutely terrible way. So let's fix that. So instead of him being murked by Rock of Ages 2, he and Kakashi successfully save Rin and escape. However, Rin later on would get abducted, again, like Princess Peach, and gets the 3-tail shoved inside of her. And this time, instead of it being Kakashi that puts his fist through her chest, Obito would be the one to evict Rin's soul from her body, and after giving Rin's soul a new permanent residence, this would cause Obito to become ruthless, heartless, and cruel during the war, especially to ninjas of the mist. But his new persona would get a bit shaken when he would see mist ninjas sacrifice themselves to protect another mist ninja, and the one who sacrificed themselves is a woman, and the one she protected was a man that really loved her. The man will start bawling his eyes out and look at Obito with eyes of vengeance, the exact same eyes he had after Rin's death. This would shake him a bit, as he would have just did to someone else what someone did to him, but he manages to stick it out through the war, but with that scene in the back of his mind. And so after the 3rd grade Ninja War concludes, and thinking about that scene of the man crying, it makes Obito realize that he's no hero and that he was fighting actual people just like him. So then Obito would decide to leave the Leaf Village to go see the other villages and just the world in general to see how the war actually affected everyone. So he starts exploring the world, and what he notices is just how bad war is, and yada yada. We all know war is terrible for 99% of the people involved in them. So after exploring most of the villages, Obito would make his final stop, the Mist Village. And after being there for a bit, Obito would realize that what's to blame for Rin's death is not them, but the war in general. And so after leaving the Mist Village, he would then stumble and bumble his way into Madara's cave somehow. I don't know, you can fucking fill that part in. They would then start talking, and Madara would talk about how he hates war as well, as he lost someone very dear to him because of it. Madara would then explain to Obito how he should have been dead long ago, and how the only reason he's still alive is while near death, he discovered that it isn't the heart that keeps them alive, but it's actually chakra, as Obito would then feel that Madara's heart is no longer beating. Madara would then go on a spiel about chakra and whatever. However, what would be important is that this would lead to Madara explaining about the mother of all chakra, Kaguya, and explain about how her son sealed her away and split her into 9 different parts, the 9-tailed beast, for Madara to draw the conclusion that humans go to war over measly power, and the ultimate source of this power is chakra, and he believes that if they kill Kaguya, that all the chakra / power in the world would disappear, and so would the wars. After listening to this, Obito would draw a similar conclusion, so Obito wonders how they should go about getting the tailed beast, as in Madara's current state, that's impossible, and trying to capture them all by himself is also impossible. So they would need a group of people who despise war just like them and are willing to risk their lives to end war forever. Now, of course, us on Earth know that this will not solve the problem, but they wouldn't know this until they tried. So Obito would then go around gathering those who lost the most because of the war and are willing to play the villain role in order to actually be the hero. And so that's how the Akatsuki would be formed. Now, yes, I know it's the same old war's bad messaging we've heard in shows a lot. But remember, this is Naruto, which is not exactly a show known for its deep and profound messaging. So with my changes to Obito, I believe it would give the 4th grade Ninja War more weight, as there is now 2 legitimate sides that have arguments to be made, instead of it being this fuck Obito being unable to get over a 20-plus-year-old crush, so he decides to comatose the entire world permanently. As Rin now wouldn't be the sole reason he started World War IV, but a catalyst to a bigger issue. This also makes it to where that godforsaken Ten Tails never has to fucking happen, and instead what the Akatsuki would do is capture the tailed beasts and put them in some other Akatsuki members that are not the main Akatsuki members, and have them incubate and stored away until either they capture them all, or if they need to unleash them at the climax to capture the last one, or two, if for instance, I don't know, a great shinobi alliance happened to be formed in order to protect the last two-tailed beasts from being collected. Now on to the final Great War part. So something this war would prove to Obito is that the ninja world is capable of working together, but leading up to this part, I would still keep most of the Akatsuki members the same, because this backstory would eventually be revealed to us, and it would make the death of all the Akatsuki members hit a bit different. Instead of most of them being seen as just mere villains, it would actually have us feeling something towards them, as we would be like, damn, our protagonists are unknowingly killing good guys. Damn. It would make the rewatch go crazy though. Also, let's get this out the way. Most, if not all, of the key fights that happen in this arc still happen in my version. So we then get to the Naruto confronting Obito, where they stand off against each other ideologically, and instead of it being fucking terrible when Obito's like, well actually I'm not that strong on my convictions, and with just a 5-minute conversation you're making me realize that the past 20 plus years of convictions is actually quite flawed. Like, Obito, you come this far, bitch, you better die on that hill. But in my version, we would actually get a good standoff between two people who ultimately want the same thing, just two completely different ways of going about it. So this time, Obito would be standing 10 toes down on his beliefs, telling Naruto that, yes, his way may actually be correct and he may be right and would love to join his side. But what if he's actually right? What if his way is the actually correct path? And how there's only one way to truly find out who is right. Okay, so other things to mention. Yes, the Madara moment's still happening. Yes, he gets brought back using the reincarnation jutsu. And the Great Ninja Alliance, instead of them having to deal with the Ten Tails, it's going to be the incubated 7 Akatsuki Jinchuriki I mentioned earlier. The old Kages would still be brought back to life. This time though, they would show up to help deal with the 7 Akatsuki Jinchurikis instead of that dumpster fire named Ten Tails. Sasuke shows up, and then we get Obito versus Naruto and Sasuke versus Madara. Naruto would then manage to defeat Obito, but Naruto won't kill him. So what Obito would then do is give his remaining chakra to Madara, who would then go even more beast mode, as he would then take on Naruto and Sasuke while the others are still trying to contain the tailed beast. While this would be happening, now that no one is focusing on Obito, he would then go and steal the 8 tails from Killer Bee, who would be mostly focused on dealing with the other tailed beast. How would he do that? Using a mix between his fuck eye jutsu and some shadow moving jutsu or some shit like that. Back to Madara, who would just be working Naruto and Sasuke, which forces Hashirama to go and help them. So those three would start jumping Madara. Also have to mention that neither Obito or Madara are in their Sage of Six Paths mode yet. They are still in their first forms. And so while those three would be distracted by Madara, Obito, after getting the rest of the tailed beast chakra, would then sneak up on Naruto and take the 9 tails from him. This will unlock the Sage of Six Paths mode for Obito, who would then also give it to Madara. Also, instead of their skin being that mint green color, I would have them be pale white, and let me explain. You see, Kaguya's color is pale white, and so the reason is when the two absorb the powers of the tailed beast, they essentially would become Kaguya, well, at least a vessel. However, Kaguya cannot just get rid of someone's mind and take over their body. However, if they would die, it would leave open an unoccupied free vessel for her to use. That's why I would change their color. Also, Neji doesn't die, as I find his death utterly pointless in the first place. Nonetheless, now with no more of the tailed beast to deal with, it's now those two versus the entire allied forces. So, seeing Naruto struggling after losing the 9 tails, Minato would give Naruto the other half of the 9 tails he sealed within himself. Obito strikes Naruto with a blast that should kill him, and Madara hits Sasuke with a similar blast. However, this makes both Naruto and Sasuke awaken to their Sage of Six Paths powers, since they're the reincarnations of the 2 original sages or something. After a long grueling battle with the help of the old Kages and current Kages and everyone else, Obito and Madara are on the ropes, so Obito once again gives the rest of his power to Madara, hoping he carries them across the finish line. This gives Madara even more power, and he starts wilding out even more against the Shinobi Alliance. So then, after barely managing to kill Madara, and I mean barely, the Shinobi Alliance would then start celebrating like they won. Then Obito would start telling Naruto that it looks like his way might have been the correct way after all. But while all that's happening, Madara would then stand back up in that ragdolly kind of way, you know the way I'm talking about. He would then release a strong ass wind pressure that knocks everyone back far, and everyone would be like, what the fuck is happening? How is he still alive? Madara would then start laughing, and as the laughing continues, the voice in his body would start slowly morphing into Kaguya's. So what this does is have it to where Madara can go out like an OG instead of the Zetsu bullshit. Speaking of the Zetsus, yeah, no, I erased both their asses from my fucking timeline. Upon seeing her, Obito starts laughing as she's here, as he tells Naruto that on second note, maybe his way is still the correct path. Obito would then explain to everyone else who Kaguya is. So now, with his goal in front of him, Obito charges at Kaguya, and so does everyone else, for Kaguya just to almighty push all their asses away. Kaguya would then start rambling on about stuff and things, about ending the world, and starting shit over, something like that. Eventually, Kaguya would notice Naruto and Sasuke's chakra, and how they're the reincarnated versions of her sons, or whatever the fuck they're supposed to be. And upon seeing them being bitter about the whole being sealed away thing, she decides to take all the chakra back. Since she brought chakra into this world, she can also take it out. So then everyone charges at her again, and they are unable to really touch her since she's just repelling all chakra-based attacks, as well as continuously absorbing their chakra, which is continuously making them all weaker. So the longer the fight goes on, the less of a chance they have, until the X Factor Sakura changes the tide of battle, as she's ludicrously strong even without chakra, so she would be able to ignore Kaguya's barrier. So there, she finally has a use. Anyways, during the battle, the old Kages would die again, Minato would sacrifice himself for Naruto, Team 7 would then clutch up and kill Kaguya. Or so they thought, but turns out Kaguya can't be killed as long as chakra exists, as she herself is chakra, which means that in order for them to beat her, they would have to let her suck up all the chakra in the world, then kill her. Only problem with that plan is that they would lose all of their powers while she'll have all of the power. So it would become an unwinnable fight. So the only thing they can do is reseal her, but of course Kaguya is not going to let that happen twice. Upon finding out that his way is pretty much impossible, Obito would then sacrifice himself to save them and reseal her as an apology for putting them through all of this, as he was complicit in this failed plan that sacrificed many lives. And so Kaguya gets sealed again, Obito dies, and then we still get Naruto versus Sasuke. And no matter how you feel about it, we still get Boruto the next generation. So a few things I wanted to fix is that, so clearly Obito, they were trying to do, no, he's actually still a good guy at heart. He just took a shitty path type beat, but they just did it so shittily, because like his whole ass reason for doing this is Rin. That's it. Hard stop. There is no more depth or nuance. It is Rin and only Rin, and it was just so fucking stupid. Another character this fixes is Kaguya. Instead of feeling like your random boss of the week, if it's made clear that she is the ultimate goal, it makes her actually relevant to the story than in the original, when it was like, who in the fuck is this? And the death of Neji was stupid, so I just got rid of that entirely, and now some might say, well then what's the purpose of this war, since no one important on Naruto's side dies? Yes, that would be correct, but in my version, the 4th Great Ninja War is not supposed to be about our hero Naruto, but the tragic tale of the failed hero Obito. That's what this war would truly be about. Kind of like the Future Saga in Dragon Ball Z. That's what this arc is supposed to be about, in my opinion. The tale of a successful hero versus the tale of an unsuccessful hero. About how Obito lost almost everything versus Naruto, who almost has everything. About two ideologies that are aiming for the same thing, peace, but just in two different ways. One's trying to bring everyone together with no sacrifices versus sacrificing oneself for the greater good. Okay, and that wraps up how I think the 4th Great Ninja War should have gone. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, leave a like, ring that bell, as it all really helps the channel out. As I am gone. Peace.